I look for him and I don't see him. I listen for him and I don't hear him.
The last time Claudia Lacey saw and heard her 17-year-old son, Lennon Lacey, was around the time he snapped this selfie. The caption, "Last night pic before the game." Lennon was a high school student in Bladenboro, North Carolina, and a lineman on the football team focused on a professional football career.
He was a physical fit 17-year-old, very athletic, very athletic, down to his food, everything he drank.
But Lennon had asthma and had to exercise outside at night after the temperature dropped, something his family said he did often. Lennon headed out for a walk the night of August 28th. They never saw him alive again. The next morning,
it's a blackmail subject.
Hanging from the swing?
Yeah, he's hung himself.
Lennon's body was found dangling, covered in fire ants, in the center of a mobile home park.
It's out in the open. There's trailers all around. People work, around the clock at these hours of the day. Someone should have saw something, but no one have seen anything.
It was unreal. It was like a dream. It was like I was not seeing what I was seeing.
The state medical examiner's office declared Lennon's death a suicide, but Lennon's mother believes they're wrong.
He didn't do this to himself.
Do you believe your son was lynched?
Yes.
Pierre Lacey is Lennon's brother.
He may either been strangled somewhere else and then placed there, or he was hung there while people were around watching him die.
When questioned by state investigators, Lennon's mom said he'd been depressed because a relative had died recently. Lacey says she did not mean that he suffered from depression.
When you just lose someone close to you, you're going to be depressed, upset, in mourning.
Lennon's family says he was focused on football and college and distracted by his ex-girlfriend. His mother says 17-year-old Lennon had been dating a 31-year-old white woman. The age of consent in North Carolina is 16. Still, some people in this small southern town did not like it. Lennon's mother did not like their dramatic age difference.
I was shocked, disappointed, and I also initially told him how I felt. I did not approve of it.
In the wake of his hanging, some wondered if he was killed because he was in an interracial relationship. Racial tension can often exist just below the surface, and here it can break through. Local news covered a Ku Klux Klan rally in a nearby county just weeks before Lennon's body was found.
Are there people in this community who didn't like that
I'm
a
sure
17-year-old black male and a 31-year-old white female?
A week after Lennon was buried, a teenager was arrested for desecrating his grave. Reverend William Barber leads the North Carolina conference of the NAACP.
There are too many questions, and it very well could be a lynching or a staged lynching. We don't know, but what we do know is there has to be a serious and full investigation of these matters.
The NAACP hired forensic pathologist Christina Roberts to review the case, including Dr. Deborah Radish's autopsy completed for the state. Her first concern, basic physics. Lennon was 5'9". The crossbar of the swing set is 7.5 feet off the ground. With no swings or anything else found at the scene that Lennon could have used, according to the NAACP's review, how did he get up there?
His size, his stature does not add up to him being capable of just constructing all of this alone in the dark.
According to the police report, the caller, a 52-year-old woman, was able to get the 207-pound teen down.
Do I need to try to get him down?
If you can.
Then, seconds later,
I'm letting him down.
according to the NAACP review, Dr. Radish also noted that she was not provided with photographs or dimensions of the swing set. Without this information, she would be unable to evaluate the ability to create this scenario. Lacey says she told state investigators the belts used to fashion the noose did not belong to Lennon.
I know every piece and every stick of clothes this child has. I buy it. I know.
The initial report from the local medical examiner, however, notes that the belts appeared to be dog leashes. According to the NAACP's review, Radish said she thought some portion must be missing because there was no secondary cut in either belt, a cut that would have been made to take the body down. And Lennon's family says he left home that night wearing size 12 Air Jordans, but he was found wearing these size 10.5 Air Force Ones, shoes that were not with Lennon's body when he arrived at the medical examiner's office, according to the NAACP review.
He's going to walk a quarter mile from his house in a pair of shoes that's 2 sizes too small after he takes off his new pair of shoes. And this is a 17-year-old black kid with a brand new pair of Jordans on. He's gonna take those Jordans off and just get rid of them and put on some shoes that's not his. We don't know where he got them from. No laces in them, and continue to walk down this dirt road late at night to a swing set in the middle of the trailer park and hang himself.
And there are questions in the NAACP review about Lennon's death being ruled a suicide. Dr. Radish noted that her determination of manner of death in this case as suicide was based on the information she was provided by law enforcement and the local medical examiner. She would have likely called the manner of death pending while awaiting toxicology and investigation, but the local medical examiner had already signed the manner of death as suicide. However, in the summary of the case written the day Lennon was found, the local medical examiner asked, "Did he hang himself? Will autopsy tell us?" and left the conclusion on the manner of death pending. We asked to interview Radish, who declared the death a suicide. Instead, a department spokesperson sent CNN a statement confirming the conversations between Roberts and Radish in writing, "The comments that were released by the NAACP were a synopsis of the professional exchange between the NAACP's independently retained forensic pathologist and Dr. Radish." Local police and state investigators declined to speak with CNN on camera for this story.
We don't have confidence in this local group here to be able to carry out the depth level of the investigation that needs to be done.
Now, the FBI is reviewing the circumstances surrounding Lennon's death.
That's all I've asked for, what is due, rightfully to me and my family. Justice, prove to me what happened to my child.
Well, as for the local police department, because of its small size, it's an 11-person department. It says it referred this case to the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation. Now, so far, that agency has only acknowledged that it has the case, but had no further comment.